beautifuls! Today we're going to be looking at the new Fenty Liquid Killawatt Highlighters. I have all 5 shades with me here, so if you would like to see what they look like, then just keep watching. I love making product review videos for you, and I also love trying out new makeup, so if you're also into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also make sure to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of when I post new videos, because I post here almost every single day. Also make sure to like this video if you found that it was helpful. If you are familiar with Fenty's Killawatt highlighters, they've been out for a while now. This is basically the same thing but in the liquid version. So with these highlights you should expect to see a lot more subtleness because her Killawatt highlighters are so dramatic, they are so blinding.
You should better wait here. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Even 10 minutes is a long time to be awake for.
What did you say?
Huh?
Baby girl, can you hear that?
What's up with that? What's up with that? Want you here right next to me. You're my everything. Know that I'm here missing you. Want you right here in my arms. You're the only one. Are you even listening? Are you even listening? Are you even listening? I need you to come through, but you always fall through. Are you even listening? Bye-bye. You don't even know what you do to me. Honestly, don't get why. 'Cause I want you right back. And I know you know that. But you never call me back. Tell me what's up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that?
You been playing with me, you've been ducking and dodging. I've been falling for you and I'm throwing my heart in. I've been falling for you and I'm throwing my heart in. You never called me when you left. 24/7, I'll be hitting you back. Got me feeling anxious and I need none of that. It's a numbers game for you. Oh, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Knew you were gone when you walked out the door. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got me falling for you, leaving me wanting more. You never called me when you left. 24/7, I'll be wanting you back. Looking at my phone, seeing if you hear me back. It's a numbers game for you. You don't even know what you do to me. Honestly, don't get why. 'Cause I want you right back. And I know you know that. But you never call me back. Tell me what's up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? You never call me back. I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new. You're more than a sunshine in my eyes. You got those pretty eyes in your head. You know it. You got me dancing in my bed, so let me show it. You are exactly what I want. Kinda cool and kinda not. Wanna give myself to you. Yeah, we're driving down the freeway at night. I only got one thing in the back of my mind. I'm feeling like this might be my
time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof, I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new. You're more than a sunshine in my eyes. I got my head out the sunroof. You got me stuck on the thought of you. Yeah, we're driving down the freeway at night. I only got one thing in the back of my mind. I'm feeling like this might be my time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof, I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new. You're more than a sunshine.
Okay, so that wraps up this video. I want to quickly just give my review on these highlighters, what I think about them, do I recommend them, etc. So the first thing I want to say about these highlighters is that I don't necessarily find them to be a necessity. I'm very content with just my regular powder highlighters, and I feel like I can, whoa. I need to slow down when I talk. I feel like I can kind of get this like a similar effect just using my powder highlights. I don't know how other people feel, but these liquid highlights to me come off looking very much just like a powder highlight, and I have some highlighters that come off being more on the creamier side, I guess you could say. So I prefer using my powder highlights, and I also feel like they're just so much easier to work with and they're so much easier to blend. One of the things I noticed about these highlights, and honestly I really didn't enjoy, is that I found it a little bit more difficult for me to blend it into the skin. I thought I was going to be able to use a lot because this is supposed to be a subtle highlight, but I had to use the tiniest amount, otherwise I just go overboard and I apply too much. So it is very similar to her other highlighters in the sense that it's so blinding. It's a literal highlight. There's no subtleness about it. There's no naturalness about it. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in these highlights, unless you use the tiniest amount. And even with that, even using a very tiny amount, I find that I have to spend a lot of time just like blending it into my skin. I think I could get away with using a brush, but I would literally have to go out and buy a whole another brush just to see how that works. And still I'm not sure exactly how I would get it to blend out. So that is definitely a con that I have with these liquid highlights, is just the blending portion of it. I feel like I had to spend more time applying these highlighters, and that kind of goes with anything that's liquid. You're going to be spending a little bit more time on it. The line up here was also bothering me. I really tried to get in there and just like blend it out, but it's just harder to do that with a liquid highlighter than it is with a powder highlight. So for me, again, like I said in the beginning, I don't really find these to be a necessity. I was really looking forward to these being more subtle, so much that I can apply it on the cheek and then really make it look natural, like it's kind of my natural highlight. But I honestly wasn't able to achieve that. However, when I was looking on the Fenty Instagram, when I was looking at them wearing these highlights, I felt like it looked very natural on them. I don't know if they applied powder on top to make it look more natural and more seamless into their skin, but for me, I don't know, I was just expecting it to look a lot more natural. Another thing I want to mention is I feel like my favorite colors are the lighter shades of the bunch. I'm not, very experienced with highlight and the colors and how that all works, but I thought that the deeper colors were going to suit me better. But in this situation, I find that the lighter shades suit me better, simply because the lighter shades just show up more on my skin tone. But just on me personally, on my skin tone, I personally like the lighter shades. So my favorite shades are shades number 1 and shade number 3. When I start getting into the deeper shades, these two last shades, number 4 and number 5, they have a strong bronzy effect, and you could see it on my cheek right now. So it literally makes me feel like I just took bronzer and then I put it on the high points of my cheek. And with that said, I obviously don't want to use it on my nose and on my forehead because it's just, there's like nothing natural about it, and we just don't put bronzer in those spots, in those areas. That's what I'm getting with the deepest shades. Again, it's totally personal preference, and some people might want to do that, but for me, I'm always going for that more natural look. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind putting like a purple or a green or a red highlight, I don't know, and here. But this one just genuinely, it feels like it's a bronzer and then like a little bit of highlight on top. I wouldn't mind if it was just a pure gold highlight. I would feel comfortable putting it in the high points of my face, but these ones I just feel like I'm literally taking bronzer and then I'm putting it on and then I'm dabbing some highlight on top. And I think the shade 1 and shade 3 just showed up really nice, and they look like genuine, like real highlights. The texture of the highlights, it's a little sticky, not bothersome, like you don't feel it on your cheeks. It's just when you dab on it, it feels a little sticky. Again, not a huge issue, but like I said, if I'm putting on a powder highlight, it's going to feel more silky and soft. These ones just are more on the stickier side. These are glittery. As opposed to shimmer, I would say this is more of like a glittery type highlight, but it's the exact same thing with her Killawatt powder highlights. If you love her powder highlights, I think you will love these, only if you want a more subtle Killawatt highlight. And I think that's really what is the defining difference between these two highlights, is that the liquid one is just a more subtle version of the powder Killawatt highlighter. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about these highlights. You do get one plus to this is that you do get a lot of product in here. A tiny amount goes a long way, so this is going to last you a very long time. I think it looks very pretty. If you're someone who doesn't have any highlights, you're probably gonna love this because it is a beautiful highlight. But for me, I feel like I'm not going to get much use out of these highlights. While it's pretty, I just don't see myself reaching for it because I'm gonna have to use my fingers. It's gonna take a lot longer to blend. It has that very strong glittery effect. Some people love that. For me personally, I prefer more of like that shimmery look to where you're not really seeing the glitters. So all in all, I feel like I'm not going to really reach for these highlights that much, and I was expecting a lot more from them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about these highlights. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Also, let me know what you think about these highlights, because from my eyes, I'm kind of like so about it, but maybe you see something different. So if that is the case, let me know down in the comments below. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another one. Make sure to subscribe if you are interested in seeing more new makeup releases. Okay, I am going to go. Goodbye.